What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. Sorry, this one is going up a little bit later than normal. I was watching the Mets and the Phillies in London. I was having a lot of fun, so I got distracted. The Blue Jays, they are officially moving on from one of their sons of former MLB legends. We're going to talk about that. The Royals, they tried to make some comeback history after being down 8-0 to the Mariners. We have an update on Juan Soto, and the Yankees, they just don't really look right without him. And Oneil Cruz, he did it again. 115 miles an hour on this cannonball home run. All of that and more in today's MLB Recap. Don't forget, Recap is presented by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And if you guys have not downloaded Underdog Fantasy, my favorite daily fantasy app, my code Fuzzy gets you a free pick'em. They have a brand new 8 pick'em system, and also you get a $250 bonus cash credit. You're welcome. All right, here we go. The Jays at the A's. Chris Bassett, he was back in the Coliseum. He was an all-star for the A's in 2021. He finished top 10 in Cy Young twice when he was with the A's. He showed off that all-star stuff, and he needed every bit of the nasty stuff to keep up with Hogan Harris, who tossed 6 scoreless for Oakland. This pass ball in the 6th actually gave the A's a lead. The Jays, they tied it an inning after Vladdy got a lucky double. Seth Brown just missed the catch, and Bo Bichette, he just made contact, and it worked. Vladdy, he scores to tie it at 1. Bassett, he tossed a clean 8th inning. He struck out 7 along the way. Now it's Miller time. Mason, he struck out Vladdy and Bo. The kid is so nasty. Then Springer kind of dogged it down the line. He was not hustling out the box, so even though Toro bobbled it, he still beat Springer. Who knows what could have happened, and we'll never know because J.J. Bleday just walked it off. The former 4th overall pick, he is finally breaking out. He's got 9 home runs and a 132 OPS plus. Now, speaking of breaking out, Cavan Biggio, he did break out back in the day between 2019 2020 for the Jays, but he just got DFA'd. What does that mean? He's essentially been released. Now, the question is, was he a product of Juice Baseballs? He had 33 doubles, 24 home runs, and a near 120 OPS plus from 2019 to 2020. He has 24 home runs and a 91 OPS plus in 331 games since that point. He still has a near 330 on base because he walks a ton, but the power has been completely zapped. I didn't know that he was 29 years old. That kind of blew my mind. So let me know in the comments. Do you want Cavan Biggio, or do you think that he has to spend some time in AAA with a different team and figure it out? This next game could be the game that the Royals point at if they make a playoff run, because they'll look back to that and say, hey, we did that. The Mariners went up by 8 after Ty France passed Edgar Martinez in career hit by pitches by a Mariner. Garver, he walked for a free RBI. The other Mitch, he doubled in 2 more. Scratch that. He clears the bases. Newcomer Victor Robles, he doubled right after, and rookie Ryan Bliss, he cranked his first home run. He went 420 plus feet, and he's one of the fastest players in baseball, so he's got some serious tools. Now, it could have been 10 runs, but MJ Melendez, he kind of flipped the switch with this robbery, right? Well, it wasn't really a home run robbery, but it was a web gem. So MJ saves a few runs, and then he put some runs on the board. His WAR must have spiked, like his wins above replacement. He launched a 3-run tater. Renfroe, he drove in another, and here we go. We're in the 9th now. Seattle is fully imploding. The Rally Caps, they were doing their thing. After a walk, Hampson had an infield single. Michael Garcia, he grounded out for the RBI. And Bobby, he turned and burned. He ties it on a double. No, he wants 3. Dude looked like Pete Rose on that head first slide. Seattle, they walked Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez. So Salvi, he's hyping up Nelson Velasquez, who put it in play, but it was hit so hard. JP, he put leather on it, but he didn't field it cleanly. That's a walk-off. So not only did the Royals walk off a game that they were down by 8, they also got to watch Cleveland blow a lead in their own right. Brian Rocchio's first career home run was followed up by back-to-back jacks from Brian De La Cruz and the former Guardian bust, Josh Bell. Josh Bell, again, he was traded last year. He's always seen lefties really well. He has a 9-game hit streak that was the 7th home run of the year. De La Cruz, he clutched up with the arm later in this game. Schneemann, he legged out a triple after Jazz couldn't grab it, and Cruz, he unleashed a seed to keep Schneemann at third base. Now, that's all fine and dandy because even though Cleveland blew the lead, they got... Whoa. Dane Myers, I apologize. I was unfamiliar with your game. I thought there's no way that he can make this throw. Holy hose piece. That Rocket keeps it at 2, and Jazz's single in the 8th seals it. Just an awful idea not to walk him. First base was empty with 2 outs. Tanner Scott, he completed the 5-out save on 10 pitches. He has a 2 ERA and an 11.4 strikeouts per 9 since last year. Is this next game a sneak peek into the 2024 World Series? You guys have to let me know in the comments who are your favorites so far to begin the season. Juan Soto, he's alive and well. It's just inflammation, so he's going to pop a few ibuprofens. He should be A-okay in a few days, but in my opinion, not having Soto in the lineup really showed some of the blemishes in that Yankees lineup. He works counts, he has clutch hitting. Yamamoto, he made light work of the Yankees lineup, and he held New York scoreless through 7. For the first time since May 3rd, the Yankees were held scoreless through 7 innings. He also struck out 7 on just 2 base hits, which is pretty good for your first ever game in the Bronx, which is a very hostile environment. That LeMahieu double play ends Yamamoto's night. LA, they avoided Judge like the plague. He got walked again, and everyone in New York thought that Stanton hit a baseball 785 feet. This game is going to need extras, where Teoscar, went to the left center gap to break the stalemate. Finally, some runs. Judge, he did not get walked, and he finally got a pitch to hit. It's a one-run game, but Rizzo, he's been pretty bad ever since Tatis's knee ran into his head. Sky went into foul territory. Smith and Ramirez, they kind of almost botched it, but LA, they do take game 1 of the series, and they're officially in the 40-win club. Now, a lot of people still have the Braves making the World Series, and I 100% agree with that sentiment. Just lately, their offense has looked kind of poopy. Chris Sale was scoreless through 3, but CJ Abrams had other ideas in mind. He barely gets in there, but that is a double. Sale, he then walked Senzel, and both of those guys took off. That ball gets away. Washington, they manufacture a huge run, and because Senzel also stole a bag, that was clutch for Ildemaro Vargas, who singled to make it 2 runs. That is all that Jake Irvin and the Nat staff needed. Jake tossed 6 clean frames. He has a 3.1 ERA on the season. The only run that Atlanta scored was because of the twilight sky. If you guys have never played outfield, the night sky where it goes above the lights is just as bad as hitting it into the sun. It just completely vanishes. Olsen made it a 1-run game, but Washington, they clutched up and said no to their comeback attempt. Finnegan, his insane 2024 continues with his 17th save. He has a 1.8 ERA. The Braves, they're now 11-14 over the last 25 games, and the crazy part is they're bottom 15 in home runs and runs scored, which is mind-blowing. We're talking about the Atlanta Braves. I do think that they're going to be good even without Ronald, but I don't know. We have another game won by a single digit. Ellie De La Cruz, he's looking like a wide receiver right there. Lodolo, he was on top of his game. Nick had 7 punchies through the first 4 innings, and his offense picked him up in the bottom half of that frame. Ellie took a walk. He then got picked off, but because he's Ellie De La Cruz, he's somehow still... He's safe. Tyler Stevenson was born to rake lefty, so he brings home Ellie De La Cruz and Spencer Steer. That is an 8-game history for the catcher. Rookie Blake Dunn, he showed off some insane hustle. He did not want a single for his first career base hit. He's in there with 2 bags. That hustle played a huge part in Fairchild driving in Cincy's 3rd run, which actually ended up being the game winner. Dansby, he pummeled a home run to ruin Lodolo's gem, who still was very, very good. 7 strikeouts, 1 run over 6. Miguel Amaya, he almost tied it. He missed it by about a foot. Alexis Diaz has just been so bad and not clutch this year, but he did strike out Wisdom to end it. And with this W, the Reds, they've won 6 games in a row. Both the Reds and the Cubs are now 31-33, which is not good considering the Brewers. Check this out. Yeah, wow, this was not a 1-run game. Tobias Myers and the Brewers lineup tore up the poor Detroit Tigers, and they did so without hitting a single home run. The Corbin Burns for Joey Ortiz trade is actually shaping up to be a win-win, so massive props to Joey Ortiz for showing out and actually proving that, hey, he's worth Corbin Burns. If I was Joey Ortiz, I would take that as a compliment. Like, wow, they gave up Corbin Burns for me. His 2-run knock came right before Blake Perkins blistered a triple. He can fly, so it's a stand-up triple. Terang, he flicked one to left field, and after Yelich got on and stole second, Bryce, he stole home. The dude is hitting over 300 with 23 RBIs and 22 stolen bases. Bryce Terang is playing like an all-star. Milwaukee, they tacked on 2 more off of Reese Olson, and Olson's very, very good, so this was just flat out impressive from the Brewers. They had 5 straight hits in the 4th inning. Contreras and Frelick made it 8-0. Glenn Perkins with another triple. Imagine if you play for the Tigers, he might have 10 triples already. He was built for Comerica. Same with Bryce Terang, just guys who slapped the baseball and are insanely fast on the bases. Their RBIs branded up to double digits, but Tobias Myers, he only needed 1. He gave up 1 hit across 8 innings. What a start. Like, he's for sure a project. He came from the Guardians when he was traded for Junior Caminero, so he was with the Rays, but now he's with the Brewers. The Tigers deployed their flamethrower secret weapon, Zach McKinstry, he made them look stupid. What is going on? McKinstry, he went 1-2-3, then he singled. He might be the best two-way player since Ohtani, either him or Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. The Brewers went easy. The Padres also put up double digits, and we got to see a Nando nuke. Tatis has a 13-game hit streak, but since May 3rd, so over a month, Nando is hitting .331. It's so cool to see him and Vladdy finally get rewarded for hitting the ball hard. They're finally finding holes. Pause. Profar made it back-to-back. He's up to 9 home runs, 39 RBIs. More on him in just a second. Campusano, he got blessed by the baseball gods. That ball landed just in front of Jake McCarthy, and the ball rolled away. Ha-Seong Kim comes around to score, and he scored again. This time he did it all by himself. He pummeled a 2-run shot right before Ketel Marte and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. swatted back-to-back home runs. Campusano, he wanted another RBI. This time he did not need any help from the baseball gods. And Profar, this dude has been out of his mind. Jurickson, he clears the bases for RBIs. 40, 41 and 42. He's still hitting way over 300. By the way, Profar has a 418 on base percentage. That is number 1 in the National League, ahead of guys like Freeman, Betts, anyone that you can think of, Ohtani. Solano, he finished off the scoring on UK Matsui. He kind of pulled the Chapman. He struck out Lourdes and then kind of just stood there and admired himself. Michael King, by the way, he was great. 5 strikeouts, over 5 shutouts. Super random transition, but the White Sox will not be losers of 15 in a row. The battle of the sock drawer continued, and Luis Robert Jr., he said, I'm sick of losing. That is 4 home runs in his last 40 at-bats, so he's averaging 1 per 10 at-bats, which is crazy. Garrett Crochet, he struck out Duran, but then the umpire saved Duran. Duran got another chance. He squibbed it. That ball got away. Dahlbeck, he ends up scoring. And what is going on? I've never seen this before in my life. Garrett stepped off because he wanted to challenge whether or not Duran actually tagged first base or not, but he threw it away. So Duran, he did miss first base, but you can't replay it now because the error is the latest play, so you can't replay a play that happened 2 plays ago. Garrett said, hell no, I am not looking like an idiot today. He locked back in, and he came away with double-digit strikeouts, just the 1 earned run. By the way, he got a 2-run single from Oscar Colas in the 4th in Chicago. They broke out the boomsticks in the 6th. I forgot these were back-to-back home runs. Gavin Sheets and Andrew Vaughn, they tagged the Boston bullpen. DeYoung, look at him. He joins in on the extra base party in the 8th inning. His double scores Gavin Sheets, and White Sox fans, they can breathe easy. What seems like it was an endless streak of L's is officially over. It was only 14. Yainer Diaz has stepped up big time over the last week, and Framber Valdez, that's not a great start, but shout out to Kevin Pillar, who has 7 home runs while hitting 324. What is going on? He literally inherited Mike Trout's superpowers when Mike Trout hit the shelf. Framber and Griffin Canning, they were sharp after giving up those early runs. Rengifo, he saved Canning to end the 6th inning. What a snag. Kevin Pillar, he tried to make a web gem as well, but that one lands. Jordan, he clears him. It's 4-1, and Yainer Diaz cleared everything again. That is 4 consecutive games now with the home run. He has 30 home runs over his last 162, which is nuts for a catcher. Jose Abreu now has a 122 batting average after this home run. Let me repeat that. A 122 batting average and a 6, not 60, a 6 OPS plus. Framber, he was insane after that Pillar home run. He struck out 9, just the 2nd complete game for the Astros all year. The first one, obviously, was Ronel Blanco's no-hitter. Pena's diving play completes Framber's night. He racked up 8 strikeouts. Houston is in a weird spot for sure, though. What is their future looking like? Should they sell and kind of retool, or should they go full steam ahead? St. Louis is kind of in the same boat right now. Goldie is a free agent soon. Arenado's production has really slipped, but looky there. Both of those guys, they contributed in the 1st inning. Goldie, that's an RBI single. He legged it out. There was a sac fly for Arenado. Then the other Nolan helped out. Gorman has been a beast. That's right before Goldie collected a 2nd RBI single of the evening. This was all off the former Cardinal, by the way, Austin Gomber, who was traded for Arenado a couple years ago, so that's not fun for him. What is going on? Tolia, I know that's a 3-run double, but that was not the worst part. The throw to third got away. Now it's tied. A Little League home run with the bases loaded from Michael Tolia. Colorado, they're actually up now. Trejo, he secured his 1st RBI of the year, and I guess this was just one of those Uno reverse games because Carlson, he tied it in the 6th. Brennan Donovan, he wanted to score the pinch runner. Siani, he can fly. He turned on the turbos. He's in there. Dylan Carlson's 2-run, 2-bagger. Almost makes me emotional. Like the former super prospect, we all thought 2018 was going to be a launching pad season, but he's been a bust since that point, so it's cool to see him raking. Ryan Helsley, he converted his 21st save. He has a 1.8 ERA since 2022. Anthony Santander wants another 30 home run season. He had 33 in 2022. He came really close last year with 28. He and Ramon Urias have been extra base machines lately. There's Urias again. The call was overturned. Cowser, he was called safe at home. Jose Siri, another. All this guy does is hit no doubters, and Mountcastle showed off the all-time raw power. How did he get that ball to leave? I thought that was a shallow fly ball to right field, a can of corn, if you want to call it that. Jordan Westberg, this kid is a budding star. He has 10 home runs, 38 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, a 141 OPS plus, and 2 DRS. Kimbrel, he saves the game. He's now 2 saves ahead of Kenley Jansen. He has 431 to Kenley's 429. Wilmer Flores has been hitting the power button a lot lately. He had a grand slam the game prior, and he popped off for 2 home runs in this one. He had 1 home run all year. Now he has 3 over the last 24 hours. Texas, they rallied versus Webb. They tied it in the 5th on a Grossman sac fly. Zeke Duran, he singled past everyone, but the Giants got it back. Michael Conforto with the 2-run home run. Logan Webb, he went 7 innings again. I think he leads MLB with 7 games already, or 8 games actually, of 7+ innings. Elliot Ramos, the dude stayed white hot with another RBI, and Camilo Doval, he struck out Nate Lowe for his 10th save of the year. The Giants, they rebound for 2 straight W's after losing 6 in a row. Byron Buxton, please be okay. My goodness, what a play. The dude plays with reckless abandon. I'm just happy that he's all right. O'Neal Cruz just wrecked a pitch. That's 2 straight games with nukes. He went almost 115 off the bat. He's got 9 home runs. The game prior, he went 117.7 mile-an-hours off the bat. Nick Gonzalez had another RBI opportunity. He skied a sac fly, so he has 23 RBI since May 10th. That is #1 in baseball, or the NL. It's not even been a month, and he's got 23 RBIs. The Twins had an interesting sequence of events. A coach got ejected. Nick Gonzalez made an insane behind-the-back flip, but O'Neal Cruz missed the bag. The Twins, they have the bases loaded, but Mitch Keller, he got himself out of the jam all by himself. He gets back-to-back strikeouts. He's hyped up. Mitch, he might finally be completing the 3-headed monster between him, Skeens, and Jared Jones. He struck out 8 over 6 shutout, and over his last 40 innings, he's allowed 5 runs. That is a 1.1 ERA. Connor Joe Rakes, he ripped to 7th. He has a 126 OPS plus. Bednar said night-night to the Twins. He put them to bed with this 13th save. The Pirates, they're 30-33. The Twins are the opposite. They're 33-30. Thank you guys so much for always supporting this series. I'm going to cut it right there. Enjoy the web gems, and after the web gems, go enjoy your day. Touch some grass. Love you guys.
Looks a fly ball out toward left. It's pretty deep. Hernandez is back for it. He's out near the wall. He leaps, and he makes the catch. Jeffers drills this one towards the gap. A diving attempt and a catch for Reynolds. Wow.
Diving stop Tovar. He's got to go across the diamond and plenty of time.
Up the middle, Bliss having to cover some ground. Off balance, throw in time. A little flare, and of course it goes out to right field right away. Refsnyder with a diving effort and a tremendous catch. Tough go for the Dodgers so far. Nice play by Torres on the slide. An accomplished second baseman after. Hard ground ball. Great stop by Castro. Throws from one knee. He's swinging.
It's wide to left. Tolia lays out, makes the catch.